Welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at Throne of Liberty and I'm going to talk about Xbox and the best settings to use. I'm also going to have another Xbox video coming up very soon today about the problems and bugginess and glitches and how practically unplayable it is, specifically on Xbox but probably on consoles. There are a few workarounds for a few things, but that video will be coming up later. But before I get into that, I'm going to be playing Throne of Liberty quite a bit, might make some videos on it. So I'm going to do a giveaway for the in-game currency. And starting out, I'm just going to give away the 1000 plus 125 Lucent. You know, we'll figure out how to get it to whoever wins. But in the future down the line, if this game is worth playing, I might do some of the bigger ones to give out too, depending on how much support I get. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, like and favorite and all that kind of stuff. And there's so much stuff you can buy with that Lucent, including this little tiny little guy, innocent and pure Yeti. This game has a lot of positives and a lot of good. But the settings, menus and stuff and just UI in general is so just broken and ugly. But let's go into settings and change the things that we can kind of change to make the game better. One thing I will say is that they do have a lot of settings that you can change. Now I'm in the menu right here, okay? I can use my left bumper and right bumper to switch between notification sound, gameplay. I cannot get into the controls, character, target, item, character, content section because the game just won't let me because of how broken the UI is. So the first big tip with menus and settings, always use this. So if you hold your left stick in, you will find this virtual cursor mode. You can enter an emergency mode in case you can't navigate with the D-pad. So this game, they already know the game's broken when it comes to UI, but they have put this virtual cursor in. Now this doesn't work on every single menu, but essentially it allows you to just be able to, you know, move the cursor around and select things. Every time you go and leave a menu and re-enter, you'll have to reactivate it, which is kind of frustrating, but it is the best way to navigate the menu. So let's look at all of these options. So first and foremost, controls. So all of this stuff in this section is personal taste and all that kind of things, but the one thing you do want to change, in my opinion, is the next target lock-on. So in this game, when you are fighting, because it's on controller, essentially what will happen is once you kill an enemy, it will automatically lock on to the nearest enemy. Now while you're grinding mobs and getting quests done, it isn't too bad. But when you are in a huge fight with loads of enemies, you know, some more of the like end game content, it's better to switch it off because you don't want to just be popping to a target that, you know, might not have aggro on you, or like just in general just make the game more clean in big end game fights. But right now, just for questing and grinding, I don't think it's that bad, to be fair. Now one thing I would love to have is the quick turnaround option. This allows you to just be able to turn around very fast on controller. However, it doesn't tell you how to do this. I've tried every button, every combination, cannot figure it out. So it says sets the ability to quickly turn camera by 180 degrees. If I go into controller and I go down to custom, there is nothing in here that will show me how to actually do that and be able to turn very fast. Very frustrating because it's a very useful thing to have on console. If you can put it on and figure out how to do it, please let me know down below in the comments. But honestly, I probably will be swapping to PC to play this game because right now the menu and everything is just too buggy. Everything else completely up to you. This also probably is a fairly decent thing to have. It will just prevent you from falling off different areas. However, I'm a pure MMO person at heart, and if I fall off, I fall off. Auto move to interaction target is also good. So like when you have like a quest or a person to talk to, you just press the button and the game will run to that person. So, you know, if you just, you know, want to take a sip of your drink or something, this is a very good thing to have on. If you don't like that, you can turn it off and just run around yourself. There is just a lot of things in here that are going to help you. You know, a lot of people with accessibility issues, you know, you don't have to hold the button to use your skills and all kinds of other stuff. So you just got to have a look at the things that matter to you. However, the most important two for me are the next target lock on, which I think everyone can benefit from using, or if you hate that kind of thing, turn it off, and the prevent falling. Those are the two main things to do in here. Let's go down to character. Again, all of this stuff, in my opinion, is stuff that is just personal preference. I just went to character name, display settings, and changed to simplify all. It's just less information on the screen. You can have that however you want though. So everything on the target and item, pretty much just leave it as it is. You know, it just helps the game, better quality of life. As you get through the game and you get higher and more powerful, you are able to auto dissolve any kind of equipment that you get. So you can change this to common, or to hopefully to the next one, but the game won't let me, uncommon or below, rare or below. So once you're at end game, you know, you're just going to hit this, and then you're going to do like anything that is additional through the lithograph book, and it will just pick them up and automatically dissolve them. At the start of the game, not worth having, because obviously you want to have everything to equip. So when it comes to the camera, sensitivity is very, very important, right? You start off at 50-50 and you cannot turn whatsoever. I went up to 75-70 because I like to turn left and right faster than I can look up and down, and it felt just a smidge too much, so I brought it down to 65-60. I could probably go 70-65 as well, and it'll be fine. So make sure you're changing your sensitivity higher, because when you're later on in the game and you're fighting big mass amounts of enemies, you need to turn quite quickly if you don't have on that target lock on. Camera smoothing just makes it, you know, just feel better to turn, you know, just makes you not want to throw up. Shake effects, if it's on for you, turn it off, because it doesn't add nothing to the game. It just makes it more laggy and stuff on Xbox, so you know, make sure you've got that on. So I didn't change nothing in content, but for the chat, bring it down to make it smaller, because it pops up in the bottom left every time someone talks, so you just want to make sure it's as small as possible. Action after sending a message, close chat windows. After you send a message, it will just all close down. And simple mode, time to minimize chat window, change it to 10 seconds, because if it's on always on, I'm having trouble with the menus now, Jesus. If it's on always show, it will always be their chat. So if that's something you like and you like to see people talking and it's there all the time, have it on always show. However, 10 seconds after someone stops talking, it will disappear off your screen, which for me is the better thing to have. You can also turn on auto translate, so it will try and attempt to change foreign language into your native language, which I think is pretty goddamn cool. For UI, HUD size, you can change this up. I prefer to have a little bit of HUD that I can see, but you can see that it's a dramatic difference. You know, even 2 looks good. The font size and stuff for chat, and the content notification font size, which you can see over there on the right, you can change this to be however you want it. I just go with large, because even though the UI is smaller, the font being bigger just makes it more readable. Again, go through this, make it as you wish to. Notifications, you know, you can change to that when you're getting attacked or player attacks or your health gets low. You can change and have an audio thing for you to hear. So this starts off at low health notification at 10%. I pushed it up to 25%, and I turned the sound to sound 2 because I think it's the most distinctive for most things. And you can do that through all your inventory and community and stuff as you wish. But for me, the low health has actually really helped me through a few fights. Sound is all over the place in my opinion, so I've kind of got it set up to be as loud as possible for most things. However, there are voices that clash with each other, so if you've got the audio speaking giving you kind of like tips and tricks, which I haven't figured out how to turn off, you will then, if you speak to an NPC, you won't be able to hear the NPC. So I've turned voice down to 75%. You know, your Ami toy, which is your little partner, can be a bit frustrating and annoying at times, but I reckon you could probably go above 50%. So this is just picking and choosing and tweaking what you want it to be. It's all over the place, so really put some time into figuring this out, which I haven't done yet, but I'm going to do, because audio actually in this game is pretty good. Now for accessibility, turn down the photosensitive control level. This will just make the game more comfortable to look at, especially if you have something like photosensitive epilepsy, which I do. So this just makes the game more bearable to look at. Anything else, obviously, you know, up to you. Motion blur is on by default. Turn it off. It doesn't help the game whatsoever. And then you can go in and change all the stuff through content, all the stuff we've already looked at. You can do through the accessibility. So for controller and changing your keys, you know, you can go through this personal preference on how you want to do it. However, doing these keybinds is so irritatingly difficult. If I go into, say, this notifications group to change it, I have to press A on it. When I press A on it, nothing happens. So I need to then go to delete binding, which you can see on the menu. It removes it. Then I press A on it. Doesn't work. Move my thing just a little bit, try and find the sweet spot, and now it allows me to enter the new shortcut. So then you do whatever key press you need to do to make it work. It's so unintuitive, it's frustrating. And the only other thing I would change is your skill preset controls. So what you can do, you can change what you're activating your skills with. So you can see in the bottom, I've got 2 sets of skills and a third skill that's blank. If I come out of here, you can see that I hold LB to use my greatsword stuff. I hold RB to do my longbow stuff, my first and second weapon. The third one will allow me to add extra skills onto it. So what you can do is have that set to a separate button or the same button as one of the other 2. As you can see, let's go down here. My goddamn menus are so annoying. So LB/RB with XYBA. So I like it all on different buttons, but if you wanted to set it to RB, you can do that. Menu goes all over the place apparently, but you can set it to these keys, the D-pad, and then we go back up here and reset these ones to the buttons. So now the second and third skill presets are all activated by the same button, RB, but I can either use XYBA or up, down, left, right to activate 8 different skills. So that's just personal preference, pick and choose. I genuinely prefer having right trigger and XYBA. That's just me. Those are the only things that I would change personally that needs to be changed, but everything else, yeah, up to you. So I will say, like I said, I'll have a video about how atrocious this game is at the moment, but just be warned that if you play this game, even if it's free on Game Pass, it's going to frustrate you. It's going to be incredibly annoying because everything about this game right now, menu-wise and UI-wise, is so buggy, it's almost unplayable. However, the game, the systems within the game, the progression, everything is really goddamn cool. It's just let down hugely by the UI and the problems that the game has. But I hope these settings help. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Thank you for watching. I've been easy. Now you guys have been awesome.